Thank you, Erica Zhang, for playing the processional. This time, I would like to introduce Leah Boggs, who will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Erica and Leah. Mr. Blank, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Carter, Principal, Dr. Dietrich Grove, Assistant Principal, Board of Education members, Mr. Costello, faculty, parents, guests, National Honor Society members, and this year's inductees. Welcome to the 15th induction ceremony of new members into the Mountain Ridge chapter of the National Honor Society. NHS Vice President Reese Howard will now give some history on the society.
The very first National Honor Society was founded in 1921 with the purpose of creating an organization that would recognize and encourage academic achievement while also developing other characteristics essential to citizens in a democracy. The ideals are scholarship, service, leadership, and character. The members being inducted this evening have earned membership into our organization by having a cumulative grade point average of 3.7 or better and by demonstrating the ideals of the National Honor Society. I would like to now introduce Mr. Carter, Mountain Ridge Principal.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker this evening, Chief Nicholas J. Costello. He's a lifelong citizen of the city of Frostburg. He joined the Frostburg City Police Department as a new recruit in January 2006, upon which he attended the Maryland Police Training Commission's Police Academy in Sykesville, Maryland. Throughout his career, he held each of then existing rank in the department and was assigned for several years as the Department of Criminal Investigations detective of the C3I unit, where he investigated a wide variety of cases ranging from theft, embezzlement, to murder. He has served as a patrol officer, police supervisor, police investigator, and police administrator. He completed his Maryland Police Training Commission Supervisor School, Administrator School, Instructor School, and Firearms Instructor School, among many other in-service courses. Chief Costello earned a law degree, Juris Doctorate degree, from Mitchell Hamlin School of Law, having graduated summa cum laude. Chief Costello also has a master's degree, Master's of Arts degree in Criminal Justice from Arizona State University, 4.0, a Bachelor of Science degree in Justice Studies with a philosophy minor from Fort Hays State University, summa cum laude, and 2 associate's degree from Allegany College of Maryland, both summa cum laude. He holds a certificate of law enforcement from Carroll Community College. He's a member of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 90, the Maryland Chief of Police Associations, Allegany Mineral County Crime Solvers, and Program Advisory Committees for both Allegany College of Maryland and the Center for Career and Technical Education. He also is a member of the Allegany County Opioid Task Force, Pirates Ahoy, Storybook Holiday Planning Team, and other community groups. Chief Costello is responsible for the day-to-day management and operations of the police department. He lives in Frostburg with his wife, Whitney. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce Chief Costello.
Good evening. Thank you all for having me, for the warm welcome, and for the opportunity to speak. First and foremost, I want to congratulate each of you for being inducted into the National Honor Society this evening. The National Honor Society is known for selecting members who promote scholarship, service, leadership, and character. You've each exhibited and promoted these qualities and serve as outstanding examples and role models for the Mountain Ridge community. I thought I would take some time this evening to share some thoughts with you on each of these qualities. Scholarship or education provides the opportunity to cultivate the mind and grow in knowledge and virtue. Through the process of education, we learn about the world, how it works, and how we should live in it. The wisest know, however, that this is a never-ending process. We should all be lifelong learners. The famous Greek philosopher Socrates is paraphrased as saying, "I know that I know nothing." Education and the attainment of knowledge is never finished, and is something we approach with humility, always ready to learn more. It's always enriching because there's always more to learn. Education develops our ability to hear and understand others. It develops the ability to learn. We learn to challenge our views and to find and defend our views with knowledge, logic, and reason. We learn to curb undue passions, and we learn to communicate together and to work together to find positive solutions and to share knowledge. If you watch a lot of national news and mass media, you see a lot of talking but very little understanding. The truly educated are people who have developed the skill to subdue the passions and truly listen and understand the views of others. While we may not always agree, the mark of a scholar is the ability to have a conversation and a dialogue with others, to understand their view and to be able to respectfully disagree, but still work together to accomplish good. I commend each of you on your commitment to scholarship, and I encourage you to continue to live as lifelong learners. You won't regret it. Through scholarship and experience, you may come to recognize the value of service. Service is an important part of life. A life of service to others is a life well lived. There is a principle that to whom much has been given, much is expected. There's always a way to help and serve others. Academic research shows again and again that the best leaders are servant leaders. They are people who put the needs and interests of others above their own. They are people who see acts of service making small differences in the world, which are actually big differences in the lives of those affected, and which collectively make the world a better place. A kind word, sitting with someone unpopular, refusing to participate in bullying or hurtful words, offering a hand to lift someone up, helping an elderly neighbor to carry in the groceries, are just some of countless examples of opportunities to serve others. You can look for opportunities to serve at school, in your daily life, and in your work. It's said that Mr. Rogers copied a quote from a monument on his college campus and carried it with him for years. It said, "Life is for service." Obviously, policing is my background, and it's a type of service work. We have some very interesting work. In the course of my career so far, we've arrested murderers, drug dealers, robbers, burglars, and performed many of these obviously very important services that are glamorized in the news and television shows. But this is only a smaller portion of the whole of police work. More of police work, especially in a community like ours, is spent providing daily services that improve the quality of life for the people here. These types of services can include directing traffic, just making it easier and safer for someone to get to school or work. I always do these things with a big smile because it means a lot to me to be providing a service to help others. It can be as simple as finding someone broken down and getting them some help, Several years ago, an elderly woman was locked out of her house and had no one to help her, so I shimmied through a tiny basement window in her house and went in and got her unlocked. I was a little bit skinnier then. It was easier to get in the window. I found myself in my time here coming across many ways to help others and provide a service. For those working shift work, like in law enforcement or the hospital, it can be as simple as working a holiday or trading a shift with someone so they can be with their families or their children. It might mean giving up some of your own wants and comforts to serve others. The main point is that small and large acts of service truly make a difference in a person's life. There are always opportunities to serve if you watch for them. Service is a form of leadership. You've each shown an enormous amount of leadership through your accomplishments. You set goals for yourselves and carry them out, and you set an excellent example for others in doing so. If you remember nothing else from my talk today, please remember this. There are two kinds of leadership, formal and informal. Formal leaders are bosses, administrators, supervisors, and those in positions of authority. It's their job to ensure that their organizations are run well. Informal leadership is an opportunity that is always there for everyone. That's where real differences are made and where real leadership occurs. While lofty goals of improving the world or society are noble and to be encouraged, we have immediate opportunities to exhibit leadership every day in our lives simply by influencing those around us. At its core, that's what leadership is, the ability to influence those around you. This can be as simple as setting an example as a reliable and trusted employee. It can be as simple as walking away from peer pressure rather than caving into something popular but not good. It can be as simple as watching for someone who needs a smile and a kind word. It can be as simple as lending your classmate or neighbor a hand when they need some help. It can be as challenging as speaking up for what's right and just when doing so may be unpopular. Leadership opportunities are always there every day. Many times character is the necessary ingredient to act on these opportunities. Character is in many ways the key factor in a person's life because it very much determines and shows who they are. George Washington had served in the Virginia military forces and the Virginia legislature, and later as the general and commander-in-chief of the American forces in the Revolution. He had been right in the midst of many battles. He had bullet holes through his coat in the French and Indian War, and in the Revolution, he was in the midst of it so much that his officers were afraid he would be killed in battle and the Revolution would collapse. But after all this, he ended up probably being the most popular man in the American states. In 1788, he was coming to be involved in the first presidential election, and at that time he wrote that he hoped he would always possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what he thought was the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. He valued the character of an honest man more than any of his other incredible achievements. Character is shown by what you do when no one is looking or when doing the right thing is unpopular. Character is shown by whether you live with decency and virtue and kindness. It can be found in giving a shut-in or an outcast company. It can be found in keeping your word and doing what you say you're going to do. It can be found in speaking up for the downtrodden or unpopular. It can be found in doing chores, doing work reliably, and being a good student. Aristotle said, "You are what you repeatedly do." We all have to make choices in life, and we all have to wrestle with vice and virtue, with doing good and with not doing good. Always do good. Always do the right thing. There's perhaps nothing more valued in relationships than trust, whether it be an employment relationship, a friendship, an educational interaction, a romantic relationship, or something else. When you live with character, people will notice you, people will trust you, and people will respect you. Always live with character. That's usually where real courage, real leadership, and real respect are found. I thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you tonight. I hope you know how proud I am of each and every one of you for being inducted to the National Honor Society. On behalf of the City of Frostburg, the Police Department, and myself personally, I'm so proud of you, and I congratulate you on your dedication to your studies and your achievements. You've all worked hard and demonstrated the best of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Please keep up what you're doing. Continue to learn, continue to serve and lead, and continue to live with character, and you will continue to accomplish great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Costello, for taking the time to be here this evening. At this time, we will review each of the ideals. As we do, we will light candles from the main candle, which represents the society's torch. It is the symbol of the eternal light of knowledge. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education ends, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can only be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light that illuminates the future. Members of the Honor Society have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. Service will now be presented by Reese Howard, Vice President.
Service can be described in many ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others, both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or without recognition, is the quality we seek in our members. Members of the Honor Society are committed to the ideals of volunteering our time and our talents to the creation of a better school, a better community, and a better tomorrow. Caitlin Weinbrenner, Secretary, will now speak about leadership.
Leadership should exert wholesome influence on the school. By taking the initiative in class and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has the self-confidence and the will to go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is an essential charge to each of our members. Character will now be presented by Amelia Porter, Treasurer.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from another. It gives each of us individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides us through life and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of the constant and daily striving to make the right choice. Character is about self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to see in others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we hope to prove by example that we value character. Inductees, please rise. And the first line can exit the stage. At this time, we will induct the new members of the Mountain Ridge National Honor Society. As your name is called, please step forward onto the stage to sign the official chapter registry and to achieve your certificate of membership. Kyler Baker is unable to attend. Christian Beeman. Trinity Beeman. Carly Beeman is unable to attend. Leah Boggs. Janessa Boyce. Carson Bradley. Jacob Brashear. Tanner Clark. Carly Kleiss. William Kleiss. Cadence Kohlberg. Evan Cook. Sierra Cooper. Carly Crawford. Casey Culler. Mary Delaney. Joshua Dozart. Ashlyn Duncan. Eliza Duncan. Isabel Duncan. Gwendolyn Fazenbaker. Morgan Felker Lewis. Macy Gwynn. Andrew Haberline. William Haberline. Sage Harris. Gracie Kidwell. Kendall Kirkwood. Brendan Klein. Nathaniel Klein. Emma Komatz. Bailey Lamberson. Wyatt Leisure. Meredith Lent. Allison Levitt. Xander Lynn. Connor Lyons. Landon McAlpine. Isabella McConnell. Leora McVeigh. Emma Monahan. Camden Morgan. Chase Muir. Brianna Murphy. Paige Pierlazzi. Leuma Pua Auli. Claire Raisley. Jeremy Reese. Erica Reed. Caitlin Rice. Riley Ritchie. Emily Ritchie. Nevaeh Shoemake. Tyson Shoemaker. Ella Snyder. Olivia Straley. Colton Swager. Cheyenne Thompson. Jessica Tran. Hannah Warnick. George Watson. Colton Wiegand. Samantha Weiland. And Ashton Williams.
At this time, will the new members please rise and raise your right hand and repeat the pledge? I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new members of the 2021 through 2022 Mountain Ridge High School National Honor Society.
This concludes the 15th induction ceremony for the new members of the Mountain Ridge High School chapter of the National Honor Society. These new members are charged with the responsibility of maintaining high standards in scholarship, service, leadership, and character. We would like to thank several people who have assisted in the success of this program. Our superintendent, Mr. Jeff Blank, Miss Crystal Bender, our board members, our principal, Mr. Danny Carter, our assistant principal, Mr. Bo Evans, our advisors, Mrs. Vicki Hoover and Mr. Todd Logston, our guest speaker, Mr. Nicholas Costello, and our faculty council. We would like to thank our pianist, Erica Zhang, and our vocalist, Leah Boggs, for their talents they shared with us this evening. A special thanks goes out this evening to Miss Lavin, Mrs. Blank, Mrs. Turnett, Miss Judge, Miss Harvey, who assisted with the invitation, tickets, and membership certificates. Again, congratulations to our new members. The officers will now lead the members to the lobby where you may meet them to enjoy your evening. We thank you for coming and have a great night.